means an excuse. But bottom line, we stunk. I mean, not good enough in any phase. There's 3 or 4 individuals who played okay, but it's a team game. And we were terrible on offense. So just not good enough. We'll watch with the players later this afternoon because of the weather. We switched the schedule around today, so we haven't had a chance to watch with the players yet. I think they already know, but yeah, just not good enough in any aspect.
Talk about Jameis and what did you think of his performance?
You know, as an offense in general, we you think you're taking 2 steps forward against Cincinnati, and we took a step backwards in this last game. So, you know, that could be everybody. I mean, Jameis on that interception, he recognized the blitz was coming. He saw it coming. We had a protection foul up. He turned it into a scramble. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, he's the one that has to cut our losses, and he just made a bad decision, a pick, and turned into 3 points. He came right up the field. I mean, he knows it. I told you guys last time, Jameis is an easy guy to coach. Jameis gets it, and Jameis isn't one of those guys that's saying, no, that's not my fault. I mean, Jameis he knows when he needs to do stuff better. We didn't protect him good enough. When we did protect him good enough, you know, sometimes there were so many issues. I mean, there was just so many breakdowns across the board. Now, quarterback always gets too much credit when you do well, and he always gets too much blame when you don't do. I mean, it was one thing after another went wrong, and not all Jameis' fault.
Is there being preseason, I mean, you're not showing everything you got, and Cleveland's not showing everything they got. So how do you accurately evaluate what happened?
Well, I mean, it's not hard for me to accurately evaluate. We stunk. I mean, that's what I told you. We stunk. It's not hard. It's not hard to evaluate. You know, it was a good eye opener for our guys. I mean, Cleveland is the first 3-4 team we played. We're going to open with a 3-4 team. It's hard to duplicate that look in practice. So, you know, from that standpoint, great eye opener for us on what we need to improve on for Tennessee.
Are you a little concerned, puzzled? I mean, it's the 3rd game that the offense looked like it did.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was a little disappointed. I mean, I didn't sleep too good Saturday night. But again, that's coaching. You know, I get paid to coach. The other coaches get paid to coach. We got to figure out a way to. This isn't all players' errors. I mean, heck, I made errors in that game too. I think 2 of those sacks were on me. So, you know, you look in the mirror and you say, what do we got to do to get better? How do we? I say all the time, play to our strengths, hide our weaknesses. I mean, I got a pretty good handle on what our strengths and weaknesses are, and it's my job to get our strengths out there and hide our weaknesses. I didn't do a very good job either.
You were in Atlanta. I mean, your offensive line last year was fairly decimated, as I recall. And did you adjust how you coached? What did you do? Quicker drops or shorter drops?
Well, that's one thing you can do. We talked about this last week. There's different things you can do to help your protection or help any individual guy that's struggling. We're not doing any of that in the preseason. Again, as I said last week, we're trying to teach a system, and then when we really drill down on a game plan and matchups, we worry more about that. Even that wasn't going to be the answer this last game, but there's some things we can do, and we've been practicing them out there. We haven't necessarily taken them to the game yet.
Where Jameis is now, is there anything to be gained were he to play a couple of series in this last preseason game, or can you replicate what he needs to see in practice well enough that between now and the start of the regular season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say it's very hard to replicate. It's very hard to replicate in practice unless we're going ones-on-ones.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Coach Smith's decision if we do that or not. A different style defense. You get to this last preseason game, and the hard part is, you know, we all get tight about not wanting to get anybody hurt in a meaningless game. You got the extra couple days off, so the number one thing that my experience is you want your starters healthy going into that first game, and you know, sometimes certain guys are held out based on other guys that are playing. You know, so you don't want to put guys at risk. risk. That's a fine line. It's a tough call. Ultimately, that's a head coach's call, and we'll see what coach decides.
There's some quarterbacks that are young that take some hits, make some mistakes, even in the preseason, might be a little gunshot. Confidence never seemed to be a problem with Jameis, but does his resiliency really help you in a situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, trust me, Jameis Winston is not gun shy. And you say young quarterbacks, all quarterbacks, when they get hit, they don't like it. Now, Jameis, when he makes a mistake, a critical mistake even, or when he gets takes one in the chops, I mean, Jameis is incredibly resilient. One of his best qualities.
We saw him limp off the field again against Cleveland 2 weeks in a row. He finishes up like that. Is that ankle affecting him at all in his dropbacks and his setup and
Yeah,
his
a
throws?
little bit. I mean, but it's affecting him a little bit. But he'll be ready to go. He'll be full speed by Tennessee. It's not anything he can't play on and shoot even in practice. Jameis, you can't keep him out. I mean, Mike's trying to slow the drills down on the side field, and Jameis won't come out. So we'll get him healthy. But he's got a sprained ankle. And, if you ever had one, and you have to move around and cut and plant, it can be painful, but easily something to get through.
Is there anything you did like about Thursday or about Saturday night?
I thought Vincent Jackson, like I said, some individuals. I thought Vincent Jackson played well. I thought Evan Smith played well. And I thought our running backs played well. We just didn't give our running backs a chance a lot of time. Obviously, Doug had the big run. Chuck had a couple nice runs. Bobby, Mike, 25. All four of those running backs, when we gave them a chance to get started, they all made yards.
Coach, last question. How much experience have you had going against Dick LeBeau, and are you expecting some crazy thing coming from him with obviously his years of experience and him facing a rookie quarterback?
Sure. Nobody's going to out-experience Dick LeBeau. He's got the most experience of anyone in the league. We've matched up a few times, and it doesn't matter, rookie quarterback or not, he's gonna throw some junk at you, especially on third down. And the hardest thing about the first game is you got Dick LeBeau, and then you got Ray Horton, one of his disciples. And these last couple years, now we got to prepare for both. And Ray Horton is a heck of a coach in his own right. Coming from the Cardinals and then Cleveland and then Tennessee, and we have about 10 million blitzes drawn up on our board, and you can't get them all. I mean, I would anticipate that it's going to be a pressure fest. So we got obviously, like I said, we got the wake up call. What we need to do.